family, the Jam Fam family, yeah. Jam Fam, come hang with me.
Hello, Wagwan, pick up yourself, whether you're there yard or you're there abroad. Welcome back to another episode of Life with the Jam Fams. I want to take this time to thank you for showing up in the comment section on the video about is Jamaica safe to live. I just want to go back and say the video I just showed you in the intro, in the midst of that video being online and people watching it and making their comments, somebody in the UK sent it to me just to show that right there in their estate on their backyard was an incident with all of those emergency vehicles that you saw there coming, and they were saying crime is everywhere. Equally, somebody else contacted me and made mention of the mass shootings that happen in America, just to highlight how unsafe sometimes people feel about going to school or going to church or being on shopping centers and in different places like that, to highlight the fact that crime happens everywhere. Jamaica isn't immune from crime, so crime happens just about any and everywhere you live. And so crime for Jamaica has been a thing that has been ongoing for decades now. I'm very conscious of the fact that the government is aware of the crime and violence that exists in sections of Jamaica. It is why they've been putting in the different measures that they're putting in to try and make sure that they clamp down on the crime in those areas when they do their special operations, to try and see if they can weed out the people who are making the life experience there for others very difficult. And it would be really good if we could get to a point where our murder rates or theft and other forms of crime that we commit against each other could be reduced significantly. And I hope that that will be something that we'll be able to achieve in this decade. Until then, we've got to look at the whole safety of Jamaica with an open perspective, because different people have different stories. The comment section is a testament to the fact that Jamaica has many different stories and people have different perspective on how safe they feel that Jamaica is. There are those in the comment section who are in total agreement of the points that I raised in my video to showcase my experience of being here in Jamaica. And they are people who are succeeding here in Jamaica. They're happy and content and have the means and the wherewithal to migrate elsewhere. But they've taken the choice to stay here in Jamaica because they feel safe, they feel happy, and they feel content. There are those people who feel that Jamaica is an unsafe place for them, and they are looking for ways and means to be able to exit the island and go off somewhere where they feel that they'll be able to be more safe, more secure, and establish a better life for themselves. There are those people who are abroad who have heard stories about Jamaica and are genuinely trying to find out what the truth is concerning Jamaica and its safety. And they've heard stories about other people and the example and the narrative that they've shared about Jamaica abroad. And they're also looking to the media and YouTubers to be able to furnish them with some level of honesty. Oftentimes what they are seeing or hearing is about the crime and the violence, and what they're looking for is to get a broad picture of what Jamaica looks like. And my intent is to give that balanced view of my experience here in Jamaica. There are things here that I talk about that aren't things that I like, and there are things that I do like. And so what I try to do is to do a balance on how my experience in Jamaica is. I do understand that there are things that are universal. Crime is one of them. I choose to live in a place where the crime level and the violence is not high, and therefore my family and I can feel safe. Doesn't mean that I'm part of the problem. It means that I recognize that there is a problem and I do not have the absolute solution for it. And so I make it my duty and my responsibility to be in a place where I can keep myself and my family safe, and where we can actually genuinely feel safe. I just want to share some of the comments with you to give you an idea of some of the conversations that were happening in the content. And it's my hope that when you read it, you will realize that these are people's perception and their perspective on the matter, and therefore we need to treat it respectfully and have a healthy dialogue. So I've come to Jamaica and I've found my living here to be very safe. And I hope that people who are coming here will have the same experience. I think I've opened up a conversation here for people in different spheres to look at what role they can play in making Jamaica a safer place. I've opened up a possibility now for that dialogue to take place. Jamaica safe. We go into taxis to go to where we want to go. We go to public open festivals. We go to activities in the night. For example, if we need to go to an activity and it's at night, we were walking in the town on the Grand Market event because Eliona hadn't had that experience before, and I wanted her to see what that was like. Not because we celebrate the occasion, but just because it's an experience to tick off your list. And we went, and we did not at any point feel unsafe. Okay, other than for the fact that the firecracker that they burst close by you, and we didn't like that. Outside of that, we did not at any point feel unsafe. So if you're considering coming to Jamaica, I would suggest that you do not listen to the things that you hear on the media airwaves. Instead, look at those people who are living their lives in Jamaica, not the people who feel like they need to out a company for doing something horrible or for doing something wrong, where you know these things happen in other countries, but they just deal with it differently. Instead, look at people who have made the decision and the choice to move to Jamaica. You have lots of people who are Jamaican parentage, who were born in other countries, who made the decision as young people to move back to Jamaica, and they're showcasing their experience that they are having here. Just like we've made the choice to return to Jamaica, and we are showcasing our journey and our process. People like this will give you a better insight as to what life is like in Jamaica. You have lone parents who are coming back to Jamaica with their children. You have young females or males, single, and they're coming back to Jamaica and having their lives and living it quite comfortably. You have families with young children who are returning to Jamaica, nuclear families with their young children. You have couples who've decided that they want to take on the journey of coming to Jamaica with the intention of having a family here. You have people who have retired from whatever their work was, and they want a getaway and a relaxation, and they're moving to Jamaica. You have people who have no affiliation or connection genetically or in terms of their generations in Jamaica, and they're making the choice to move here because of the experience that they have when they come here, or the experiences to be had. So the idea of crime being a deterrent, well, if that's the case, then probably we wouldn't want to move to New York, or we wouldn't want to move to Los Angeles, or we shouldn't want to move to Miami or Toronto or London or any of these other major cities or these big ports that we tend to go to for whatever the lifestyle is that we get there. And so we need to look at it in a similar perspective. What's the experience of the people who are actually giving you the information? And then what experience do you want to curate for yourself when you come to Jamaica? And how safe is it to do that? I mean, some people have made the choice to come and they go to gated communities to live. And then afterwards they decide that actually gated community isn't really for them. They haven't really escaped what they were trying to escape in the countries they're coming from. And so they instead choose to go off in the countryside or find some suburb somewhere that they want to go and live and create a homestead for themselves. So it's about what is it that you want your life to be when you return to Jamaica or when you move to Jamaica. Where can you manage to get that done, and how can you fund it so that you can stay here to enjoy it? Because really and truly, Jamaica is a safe place to be. And if you live in the areas where you're going to choose and select to live, then it will be safe. Your risk of crime here is no different from your risk of crime wherever you live currently. And when we go on holidays to other countries, we practice cautious living. We don't go there and splurge and put on display or things that we're carrying. We carry our purse and our equipment safely, and we make sure that we're cautious in how we are living. And it is no different when you move to Jamaica. You know, where you live now, the way in which you carry yourself, again, you do the same thing. You don't come out of your car and you leave things on display for people to see, because then you're risking breaking and entering into your car. You don't leave your door wide open and go off somewhere and knowing full well that you have things in your house that somebody could come in and take. So it's just about making sure that you're being cautious, you're exercising wisdom, and you're trying your very best to make sure that you are not putting yourself knowingly at risk. And this is something we do wherever we are. So if you want to move to, and Jamaica is where you want to move to, don't let the media scare you into not coming. I do hope that your experience of Jamaica will get better. Thank you for staying with us. Bye. See you in the next one.